Hey everybody, Dr. Oliver from backintelligence.com, and today we're going to talk about the rectus femoris muscle, which is one of the muscles of your quad, and how it gets tight and what you can do about it if it is tight. If you haven't done so yet, click the subscribe button to get access to videos as we put them out. So let's talk about the rectus femoris muscle. People talk about their quads, right? The quads are the muscles on the front of your leg here. Quads means there's four of them, right? Well, your rectus femoris is the most anterior and centralized muscle we have. It runs right down the front of our leg. It attaches to the bump or the bone right on the front of our hip, and it goes down and attaches through our patella to our tibia. It's the only muscle out of those quads that crosses over the hip, so it is an important muscle, and when it's tight, it causes a lot of problems. Increased tension or overload of the rectus femoris can cause knee pain. It can also, because it crosses that hip joint, affect your back as well and cause some back pain. So checking this rectus femoris to see if it's tight and then working on it can go a long way in relieving some of that discomfort, whether it be in your back or your knee. So let's just trace out on Leon here where the rectus femoris is. So we said, remember that ASIS, if you feel around on the front of your hip here, you'll feel a little bump, a little ball that sticks out there. That's your ASIS. From there, it goes down and it attaches again into your patellar tendon, which is where all those quads are going to attach into, and then just below your kneecap into your tibia there. So it's this rectus femoris here that we're going to work on right now. And we're going to talk about a couple ways that you can work on it. We're going to talk about how to soften it up, a little foam rolling, and then how you can stretch it as well. So for the foam roller, we're going to use a foam roller. We're going to go to the ground and do that right now. So Leon will take that. And when you get down to the ground, generally you'll start with the roller basically just above your knees. You kind of get in front of it, you place it so it's just above those knees. When you're rolling your quads or your rectus femoris or anything, you don't want to roll over your kneecap. You're going to start, it's a big area, right? So your quads, your rectus femoris, big muscle. So I generally tell patients, break it into two chunks. So start with the top or the bottom. So right now, Leon's going to start with the bottom. He's going to roll from the middle to just above his knees, back and forth. So what he's looking for is tenderness and tightness right in the middle of those quads, right? And if he needs to, he may have to turn his feet in and out a little to just kind of target the sides a little. Again, it's in the middle, but you're going to be trying to find those tender points. You're, of course, going to be rolling some of the other quads as well. That's totally fine. If it's tender and tight, roll it. So about 30 seconds to a minute in each area. And then you kind of work yourself down a little, Leon, so you can get that upper portion closer to the top. You may find one area is a little tighter than another. If it is, just concentrate on that a little more. So you're rolling back and forth. Again, if you need to turn these legs a little bit in, a little bit out to target, you do that. Now, some of you might find that this isn't enough pressure. You just don't have enough body weight to actually produce any effective results here. If that's the case, then you may be better go to one leg. So Leon will go to one leg. He'll kind of slide the roller over a little bit so it's on one leg. Now doing it, all of his body weight is being supported by just his left quad, right? His left rectus femoris we're targeting with more weight, more pressure, should be more intense. You want this to be tolerable. You don't want to be in excruciating discomfort, right? It should be tolerable. You should be able to roll it, and it should get better. The whole rule with all this soft tissue work is it's got to get better. If it never gets better, you're doing too much. So again, 30 seconds to a minute on each area. I like you guys to break it in two. If you feel like you can do the whole thing in one, that's fine too. But just target out those really tender spots. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is get a nice stretch, a deep stretch through the quads, but specifically we're looking at that rectus femoris right in the middle. So the easiest way to do this is to have a chair, or you can use a wall or bench behind you, something you're going to support your foot actually with. So you're going to go into what looks like a standard hip flexor stretch, and you're going to try to stretch it. So we're going to lift one leg up. Yep, so he's going to go to one foot on there. He's going to take the other leg, and he's going to go onto his foot. Good. Now that he's got it up there, he's going to start to stand upright. Good. And holding that position without arching through his low back. He's going to really engage his glute. He's going to tighten his butt on this side to prevent him from arching too much. He's really going to try to flatten out his back. You should feel a strong stretch in the front of that leg, right? In front of that down leg right there, you should feel a strong quad stretch. And you're just going to sit there and breathe into it. 20 seconds or so is a nice deep stretch for this. And then you can come off of it. You can do a couple of those, but you switch out obviously and do both sides. The key here is it doesn't cause any real pain. It shouldn't stress out your back because of the position. If it does, you may need to lower it down. Some people may find that actually putting their leg on a roller is enough of a stretch for them because that's high enough. Or you might find something else that's a little higher. Maybe this is too high. Maybe it's not high enough. Some of you will be good enough at just kind of grabbing that back leg and pulling it up to you because you need more of a stretch there. Whatever you need to do to get deep into that quad, you do. So try foam rolling it. try stretching it and see if you can get reduced tension out of that quad. If you find these are very difficult, then obviously you have a lot of tension in that rectus femoris or those quads. And again, figure out why. You're probably overutilizing these for certain activities. A lot of this ties into poor glute activation. So if you're not getting good glute activation, you should check out our other videos on that so you can get more information on how to turn those on and dial back some of this tension in your quads.
I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like it and share it with a friend. Also, research shows that strengthening your core area can help relieve some of that low back pain that you're feeling, but it's important to know which exercises specifically to do and how, and you want these exercises to be both effective and safe for your spine. And we have just the PDF for that. So if you'd like to get a free PDF of core exercises that are safe for your spine and are very effective, there's going to be a link to get them somewhere here on the video or down below in the description. Just go to that page, enter your email, and we'll send you that PDF right away.